Hey guys, it's Crossroads here. Today we're going to talk about Robinhood. Specifically, we're going to look at futures contracts, events contracts, and talk a bit about that. And also gold, specifically the Lost City of Gold event that's coming up. Of course, we have Robinhood Weekly where we discuss some of these things, but today they launched some news specifically on futures contracts that I thought could not wait until Monday. So first, this is what was announced during Investor Day. It was back in 2024, and they, of course, had showed off the events contracts at the time. That was the elections contract, and more specifically, they had mentioned that they were planning to launch futures in early 2025, and they said this represents a nine-figure revenue opportunity. That is $100 million annual run rate or higher. So, of course, you don't get there instantly, but they, since last month, had rolled out futures to every single person. There's been, I believe, a little bit over 20 trading days since then, but basically a full month of trading days. And they ended up announcing that 2.4 million contracts were actually traded since launching last month. That's 100,000 per day on average. This, by the way, it's important to note, does not include the predictions market. So that's not the FOMC meeting results. That's not the sports betting. That's just pure futures contracts that they offer. So the interesting thing about this is it's a higher revenue contract for Robinhood. And they actually get 50 cents per contract traded. I know that may not sound like much, but it's substantially more than when we trade stocks or even when we trade options. And that's if you're a Robinhood Gold member. If you're not, otherwise it's 75 cents. So just using some quick math, with 2.4 million contracts traded, 100,000 on per trading day. If we assume absolutely zero growth in this product, and that every single one of those contracts that are traded are by someone that's getting that 25-cent discount from Robinhood Gold, we come out with an annual run rate of 12.5 million. In other words, it's ridiculous to expect that there's going to be no growth in this. It's also ridiculous to expect that all of those are going to be Robinhood Gold members. And so it's very easy to see that roadmap of this scaling out, of course, to that nine-figure product, as I had mentioned. They have, and they're very good at doing this, by the way, of scaling these contracts out quite rapidly. So another update that they provided was, of course, earlier, the predictions market, specifically with sports betting late last week. Regarding that product, it's one that I'm more neutral on. Futures, I think, is exciting. The events predictions can be pretty interesting. The elections prediction I thought was interesting, as well as predicting the Fed's fund rate. But as far as the sports betting, I'm neutral on it. I think that it may detract from Robinhood's attempt to shift in the minds of many people that they are a serious investment firm. And they absolutely are. They have an incredible suite of products. It's an incredible tool. It's my main brokerage as well. But I do think that maybe this detracts a little bit from that point of view, and it might cost them some customers. Overall, they'll still make a lot of revenue off of it. They'll still add users to their platform. In an ideal, perfect situation, some people will come just for the betting, and then we'll make some money, hopefully, and then we'll stay for the actual brokerage as they put some of those funds over and actually learn how to invest. So no hate on people that are using the product. It's just not my favorite thing. But we should still take a look at what the revenue actually looks like. And so, of course, they generate not very much. This is not 50 cents per contract. This is instead that they're making 1 cent. And so invest with Meh. He has less than 1,000 followers. He's a great guy to follow if you're into Robinhood. He actually came on Robinhood Weekly once when I was out. And so he's just manually tallying up the March Madness events contracts, specifically with the men's bracket. And they've generated about, to his estimate, $126,000. And so he posts these numbers each and every day. Of course, the women's brackets is in there, as well as the FOMC information. There's a lot longer left in March Madness. So I think that this will be a pretty interesting product as it relates to Robinhood. And as they continue to scale these out and do more of these, I think that Robinhood will actually make this a serious amount of, I think that Robinhood will earn a serious amount of money off of that. It's one of the reasons perhaps why Robinhood, the stock, continues to go up, even though Bitcoin is very much in a lull. Crypto revenue is very important to Robinhood, but the market understands like, hey, there are a lot of other products that are coming out here. Now, one of the last things that I wanted to look at was specifically the gold event. So before we look at the event itself, let's talk about this product. So Robinhood Gold, this is something that they went over during their investor day, showing the adoption rate, and it had climbed to 9% in quarter three 2024. They mentioned in quarter four earnings that the attach rate for the new cohort, these are people that are brand new to Robinhood, is now over 30%. So 1 in 3 people coming to Robinhood sign up for Robinhood Gold right then. Why would they do that? Well, it's because if you're putting the maximum amount into the IRA, you're getting $210 per year just in a match. That pays for the $50 annual fee for Robinhood Gold right there. And you have a whole lot of other products too. And they continue to get this bigger and better. Now, the interesting thing is you can see here the annual run rate is now up to 112 million. It's actually more in quarter four. I won't even bother posting that, but they hit this 6-figure going from something that was very small in 2019. Of course, Robinhood Gold was really not much of a product then, and they've really built it out. It continues to improve. They've done these little contests, as you recall, the Bitcoin giveaway, the Dogecoin giveaway. Those were really fun. I'm sure that was driving some of this attach rate as well. And of course, this month is the Lost City of Gold event. And so this is going to be in San Francisco. Myself, Tanner, Amit, and several others that you know and follow will be there. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of you there. Let me know, by the way, in the comments if you'll be there. Would love to meet you in person if there's time. I know it's going to be a shorter event. But this specifically, they're rolling out a whole bunch of new Robinhood stuff. They mentioned some new products. And we'll have to see what this looks like. So the interesting thing to me is this product, Robinhood Gold, has gone from kind of an afterthought in 2019, like no one was counting on that revenue to do anything, to a serious driver. Now, I do still think that there's an element of cyclicality here in Robinhood, but as they build out more and more of these products that have that $100 million annual run rate or higher, all of it will still be affected in a crypto winter and also in a bear market, and those will happen. It's just inevitable. But it also helps Robinhood kind of weather those storms as well. For the time being, we're still very much in a bull market. Crypto winter may be nearer than I was hoping. We'll have to kind of see and keep a tab on that. But nevertheless, this is an interesting and fascinating time to be a Robinhood investor. They excel in launching brand new products that work, that garner a lot of market attention. And then they're able to scale those very rapidly to these massive $100 million or more annual run rate. I believe that, if they hit that with futures, that'll be, I think, the 10th product of theirs that they have that has that annual run rate. So let me know what you think in the comments of these products. Have you tried out futures? I have not. I need to have some time at some point to actually try it and check it out. I've looked at it in here. I'm personally not a huge fan of the sports betting, so I'm not going to do that one at all. But let me know if you tried that out and what you think as well. And also let me know if you are planning to come to that Robinhood event in San Francisco coming up this next week. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Until next time, happy investing.